Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome to Ghost Stories Told from the South, episode 153, man. Before I go any further, hit that subscribe button and get notifications every time I put something on YouTube. Yes, doing another video, so I hope you like it today, guys. I hope you like it. I am Stephen Libby, and I'll be telling the stories today, brother. But let's get the audio part going on the old podcast, and we'll get on with the stuff. Well, hello. Well. Hope everybody's having a great spooky time. Everybody's having a great week. I know my week was great. Good weather to sit on the back porch and tell some old scary stories. Go scare yourself. It's the weekend. Well, my week has been going great. Just want to say thank you. The podcast keeps growing little by little. And I'm loving it, guys. Just want to say thank you very much everywhere around the world who is hearing this. Thank you. Well, with that being said, man, already into three damn episodes into season 4. Still crazy. Can't believe I'm on season 4. Let me get a drink of water real quick, and we'll get this sucker going. Oh, and people that's listening that's on the audio, I'm doing a video along with it, like I always do. So go to YouTube and you can watch it. I think I might do a live one day, but I'll have to wait and schedule that one when I have time to. I have to probably do it after baseball season, which would be great. I can do it on a Friday, do my regular episode on a Friday night, on a Saturday morning. Let that one come out, and then I can do a live one that night or something. I don't know. I'll get it figured out. I think it'll be cool though. But anyways, go to the YouTube channel. You can check out all the videos there. It's at ghoststories.com. Or Ghost Stories Told from the South. All right, let's start telling some scary stuff. Well, today I'm still covering water stuff. I was trying to look for some haunted lakes in Mississippi and Louisiana. I didn't come up with much. All I came up with was a haunted swamp that I already covered when I very, very first started doing the podcast. So, Louisiana didn't really have much. Mississippi had a little bit, but so what I did was I found some 7 ghost stories on the Alabama on the Mississippi coastline. So that'll be good. And then I got some stories about the haunted Mississippi River, because that river is huge. It goes through Mississippi. It goes out. It dumps out in the Gulf, but it starts some up there way up north. It goes through like 4 or 5 states, I think. So it's pretty crazy. Or goes through, but I know it's the border for Louisiana and Mississippi. And then to wrap it up, we got a little place in Alabama to talk about. And I didn't find a whole lot in Alabama either about haunted lakes or rivers. So yeah, kind of weird. All right, well, I hope you're ready. Get you a nice warm blankie, a cup of coffee, or some hot chocolate. Kick back, relax, and get ready for some scary stories. Okay, as everybody knows, I do my editing on my podcast while I'm going through it. So when I get to the end, I'm fucking done. And ain't gonna do it again. Okay, let's see here. Yep, I want that song. Put it there, and we're ready to start going. Okay, we're going to start out with some tales of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Our first story is the ghost of Mississippi's Lost Island. About 12 miles offshore between East Ship and Horns Island is Dog Island. However, you won't see it, and that is because it's been overtaken by the water. But it wasn't always that way. In 1926, the island was very visible and home to a resort known as the Isle of Caprice. By the early 1930s, the island disappeared underneath the waters. And it disappeared into the waters of the Gulf. But phantom remains of its existence still remain to this day. Well, of course, I bet you people evacuated and buildings got left there and all that stuff. I'm going to take a little break real quick. Got to put my bifocals on. Oh, that'd be better. Yeah, so apparently this was like a little resort island. And when I take it, the waters rose and it disappeared. According to local legend, a hurricane hit the island during its heyday. Rather than evacuate, most chose to ride out the storm on the island. 2 days later, rescuers went to check on those who stayed on the island. Sadly, they found no survivors. Only bodies, debris floating in the water. It's said if you go out to the area of the Gulf where the Isle of Caprice lies beneath the surface, you can hear a phenomenal laughter that's replaced with the ghostly screams and then the complete silence. So apparently, if you swim out to where this island used to be, of course you'd be on top of it because it's underwater. You would hear laughing and then screaming and then nothing. Well, I bet you that's a haunted area because for the people that wrote it out, they probably got washed out to sea, drowned. So yeah, just anytime weather comes on and say take cover, get out, do what it says. I mean, even if you live on the coast, especially an island like that, when a hurricane's coming, because you never know what them things are gonna do. And by the way, if anybody from Mississippi hears any of these stories I'm talking about that lives on the coast, hit me up. Tell me about them. Tell me what you know about them. Okay, let's get ready for story number 3. You know what? I'm not going to put music in on every one of these because they're all short. So, our next one is The Tortured Souls of the Pirate House. Though long after being destroyed by Hurricane Camilla, the pirate house lives on through the ghostly tales associated with it. The home, which is said to have been haunted by at least 8 spirits and once was a hideout for John Lefute and other Gulf Coast pirates. So John Lefute was a big time pirate in the area, and that was his house. That's pretty crazy. I live here in Texas, and that's pretty crazy hearing about how the pirates roam the Gulf Coast. That's not far from me. Only 7 hours. Where are we at? According to legend, pirate booty was moved. Okay, if you don't know what pirate booty is, it's not a girl pirate's bottom. No. Pirate booty back then was what they stole, the gold, the coins, stuff like that. That was the pirate booty. And pirates loved their booty. The booty was moved to a VA secret tunnel that ran from the home cellar to the Gulf. The interactive passway had another use aside from storing gold and treasure, though it is also housed prisoners who were often tortured until death. Phantom screams and moans plagued the pirate house, well, until the 20th century. So apparently, this house used to be there, but when one of the hurricanes came through, it wiped it out. All right, here is our third story. The permanent patients of Howard Memorial Hospital. So all of these places are on the coast of Mississippi, somewhere in Mississippi. Okay. However, oh, Howard Memorial Hospital opened in Biloxi in 1963. The hospital has long been associated with stories of paranormal, most of which involved two little girls who never seemed to be released. Hospital employees, as well as patients, reported all sorts of strange happenings from the phenomenon, from the phantom laughing and gold spots on its and code spots to items moving on their own. But seeing the ghostly girls was especially creepy because, according to legend lore, that meant you'd soon be joining them in the afterlife. So apparently, if you've seen these ghost girls at this hospital, you would see these. You'd see your death. As as far as who the girls were, or how they ended up at the hospital, that's unknown. However, there have been many guesses over the years. Some believe these girls were patients who died at the hospital, while others say they were killed at a nearby park. So nobody knows, but there's these two girls that haunt the place. Okay, the next one is the Beavar's lingering resident. Although although Beavar is most widely known as the former home of Jefferson Davis, it has another identifying character. It is a paranormal hotbox. Since opening for tours in 1941, several visitors have found something unusual in their photos taken at the establishment. Dozens of pictures appear to have apparitions in the background. Jefferson Davis, his wife, and daughter have all been caught on film here. This place was officially investigated by a paranormal team for the first time in 2014. The Mississippi Gulf Coast Paranormal Group spent the night in the home and caught some strange things on film and in the recording sessions. All right, that's a little creepy, but all right. Our next one is The Vanishing Boy from Passing Packing Company, or from the Passing Packing Company. Back in the 1950s and 60s, the ghost of a little boy haunted the beach in Pass Christian. According to several reports, the phantom child would suddenly appear watching people as they enjoyed a visit at the beach. The boy's clothes were old-fashioned, tattered, and dirty. His unkempt appearance often led people to ask questions about where he lived, his family, and etc. More hauntings than the sight of the little boy's ghost were the answers that he gave. Also very polite, he'd reply that he stayed at the packing plant. That is the most information he ever gave out. Any familiar any familiar with the past Christian, anyone familiar with past Christian is well aware that the packing plant the boy is referring to has been closed for decades. According to witnesses, once the questions begin too much, the boy would simply vanish. So, if you're talking to this boy and you start drilling him for questions, he's just going to vanish. That would be some creepy shit. That would be like, what? Yeah, that would definitely creep me out. Okay, we got number 6. The Restless Spirits at Garden of Hope Cemetery. Excuse me. I guess another name for this place is Franklin Cemetery. The Gutter Cemetery is actually considered one of the most haunted in the entire country. I hear that about everything I report on a lot. A lot of places say we're the most haunted. Several witnesses have reported a young, friendly ghost named Charlie Ann. Or Shirley Ann. I'm sorry, Shirley. While others have come to contact with, or came into contact with Bloody Sarah, an apparition that likes to run into the road and makes motorists think they have ran someone over. According to several reports, Bloody Sarah can be heard insanely laughing throughout the entire ordeal. So as you're hitting this ghost, she laughs too. So, Other ghost sightings in this cemetery include Charlie Ann's father. Yeah, her father is here. Who supposedly who killed her killed her and her siblings and her mother, and the ghost of the man who climbs from his grave, steals flowers and wreaths from other gravesites, and then returns to his grave with his loot. So I guess he goes and takes stuff and puts it on his. That's pretty crazy. I'd like to see that. Our last story. The phantom passenger at the Bay St. Louis train depot. Built in 1928, the Bay St. Louis train depot has a lot of history. And even though it's been years since it was a hustling train station, a travel refuge refused to leave. Saying a traveler refused to leave the station. The the phantom traveler, a young man in a white linen suit, walks leisurely along the tracks. As he marks his way, he whistles in an upbeat tune, occasionally checking his pocket watch. To many, it appears as if he is waiting for a train to arrive. According to witnesses, once he reaches the end of the walkway, he tips his hat and vanishes. Now that would creep me the hell out if he's doing that and he tips his hat to you and poof, I'm gone. See you later. Sorry, I had to get a drink. I was very parched. Okay, that was our first story. Now, we're going to talk about some crazy stuff about the Mississippi River. Yeah, doing my editing. Got to get another drink. All right. That's good. High quality H2O right there. All right, let's get back on with the punk. I can't even freaking talk. Podcast. All right. Apparently, the Mississippi River has a lot of weird stuff that happens. Gonna start off talking about the smiley face killer. The smiley face killer is the theory of two retired New York detectives who believe that someone or a group is responsible for the deaths of at least 40 college men. Nearly all the men's deaths have been ruled accidental drownings, but some speculate that their deaths were no accident. They believe that there is a serial killer or serial slayer that preys upon intoxicated college students, dragging them and dumping them into the nearby bodies of water. The detectives came up with its theory after his smiling face was discovered near several sites where the men were subjected to have fallen into the water. Christopher Jenkins, a student at the University of Minnesota, was 21, and he was a student at the University of Mississippi. He was 21, and he disappeared on Halloween night. His body was found 4 months later in the Mississippi River, still wearing all his Halloween costume. So be careful up there. It sounds like they might not have caught this guy. Okay, now the next little story is called The Mississippi River Has Been Known to Run Backwards. Now, this is crazy. The Mississippi River has been known to reverse its direction. On the rare occasion that this happened, it usually is due to a natural events in the area. The earliest known time that this happened was 1812 after a series of earthquakes in Missouri. But it but it's happened several times since then. Most recently, it went reversed for 24 hours in 2012 as as Hurricane Isaac came on land. So that makes sense about think about it, because you've got a big ass hurricane that's like a tornado coming your way on the land, bringing all this water, and it's pushing, so it's going to be pushing. Yeah, that'd make a whole lot of sense. The oldest settlement on the river is said to be haunted. The the uh, the Natchez is known as the birthplace of Mississippi. It was settled by the French in 1716, and after the 7 Years' War was ruled by Great Britain, Spain, and finally the United States. Years of governmental chouse earned the town a reputation of being lawless, and there are still many prominent legends about the area. Said to be the most haunted city of Mississippi. See, another most haunted place. There have been reports of paranormal activity at many locations in the city. There are stories of witches dancing along the Natchez Trace, burning every piece of land. What, the Natchez Chase? Burning every piece of land that their feet touch. Natchez under the Hills is one of the oldest parts of the town, and is rumored to be haunted by several ghosts. But the spookiest spot in its place is Longwood, a an unfinished mansion. The construction of Longwood was halted by the Civil War. Dr. Hollernuff, who commissioned the home from the architect Samuel Swallen, lived in the only part of the house that was complete, the basement. Locals call the place Nudie's Folly. The rumor is that you can still see the ghost of Dr. Nutt and his wife lurking around the property. Okay, now we're going to talk about Pepe the Lake Monster. Lake Pepin, the largest lake on the Mississippi, is located between Wisconsin and Minnesota. Since 1876, there have been reports of an unidentified monster nicknamed Pepe lurking beneath the surface. The creature is reportedly huge and can leap out of the lake to snatch birds right out of the air. While there is no proof of the monster's existence, business persons Larry Nelson has offered a $50,000 reward to anyone who can prove the existence of the creature. Nelson has claimed to see the monster twice. He hopes the reward will not only be fun, but bring more tourism to the area. All right. A Bigfoot-like creature roams the banks of the Mississippi. The legend of the Momo monster comes from the small town of Louisiana, Mississippi, looks like, located on the Mississippi River. Yeah. Okay. In 1972, three siblings claimed to have seen a Sasquatch-like creature carrying away a dead dog. Other neighbors later said that they heard growling and animal-like noises in the area. A farmer even had a dog disappear and thought the Momo monster might have been to blame. Some people in the area believe it was a hoax carried out by three bored kids. But from time to time, sightings are still reported. Its next story is river flooding wiped out the ancient city of Coahuila. The ancient city of Coahuila, believed to be the largest prehistoric settlement in the United States, was once located near modern-day St. Louis. Yeah. It started with a few architectural settlements around 400 CE and grew into a major city by 1050 CE and disappeared by 1350 CE. Archaeologists and geologists speculate that the catastrophic flooding of the Mississippi River around 1200 CE contributed greatly to the demise of the city. Today, Coahuila is a state historic site visited by thousands of tourists each year. Visitors can learn about the Mississippi mound building culture in a tour of the place. So, yeah, that sounded pretty cool. But it does make you wonder how many settlements and stuff were out there before, like floods and stuff took them over, and we never got to hear from them again. Well, I'm sorry if this episode's a little short, guys. My bad. Because this is my last story. Didn't mean to. But we're going to talk about our next one's in Alabama. And it's called the Kinloch Shelter in Falls Bankhead National Forest. The Kinloch area of the Bankhead National Forest is a historical region of the forest that holds a wealth of beauty, including a 1-mile moderate hike to the tremendous Kinloch Shelter, and short of a half-a-mile walk to the spectacular Kinloch Falls that cascade down into a pool that has been a popular swimming hole for years. It is also where we find the spirit of Aunt Jenny Brooks. While Willis Brooks married Jenny in the 1840s and had 9 kids. So you know what they did in their pastime? They weren't telling stories around the fire. There are conflicting stories about how her husband and oldest son, John, were killed, possibly after being caught aiding a Confederate deserter, or perhaps by refusing to fight for the Confederacy. Whatever the reason, the woman who became known as Aunt Jenny wanted revenge, and with her 5 remaining sons, set out on a quest to kill every member of the squad that killed the 2 men. Legend says that Jenny would hang trespassers on her property. Jenny passed away in 1924, but her spirit allegedly lives on along the trails in the Kinloch area, where hikers have even seen green orbs and hear strange sounds and voices. And as if you visit the grave or home, you may hear Jenny yelling, get off of my property." So yeah, if you're ever around Alabama and around the Kinloch area, go check that out for me. And those of y'all who don't know, Alabama is another state here in the United States. It's in the south. It's right by Louisiana. As a matter of fact, it's right between, I believe, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, right there in that area. So, yeah, pretty cool. Well, guys, hope you liked this show. Hope you liked this episode. Next week's will be better. I'm still going to be looking for lakes and stuff to do since it's springtime right now and summer's coming up. So, and then after that, I'll probably just get back into doing regular stories, I guess. But I'm going to keep digging and find some good, juicy stories for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed the show today. I enjoyed telling the stories to you. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. And till next Saturday, baby, I'll see you, man. And if, like I said, go to YouTube and look up Ghost Stories Told from the South. You'll see the podcast. Subscribe to it there. You can see the videos. I'm going to start doing more and more videos to go along with the audio. And if you just want to hear the audio because you don't want to see my ugly face, then you can go find me on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Stitcher. I'm pretty much everywhere with this podcast. So check it out everywhere you can. It's on Google Play. I know that it's on a lot of different platforms. So hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Like I said, thank you very much. Don't forget, check out the show, man, every Saturday. And you can always go back in the vault and check out some of the older stuff too, guys. I would appreciate it. And go back and y'all start giving me some reviews, please. Leave me some of them 4 or 5-star reviews. And I know on Spotify and probably your other ones you can do that. And you can ask questions there too, guys, or tell me something about the show, or tell me I suck. But in order for me to keep going with this, I need to give you likes and 4 or 5-star reviews, man. What you think I'm going to get to you, man? Just kidding. Anyways, we will see you later, guys. We will be real and talking about stuff to the south. I'm Steve Lee. I will see you later, man. catch you later, though. Bye. All right, YouTube. We'll shake you later, man. Y'all have a great one. Don't forget, man, we're going to be doing these videos more and more. Appreciate the love. Subscribe. We'll see you later, guys. Bye.